Hey guys, welcome back to Talking with Tyler, and on another podcast, I am going to be recapping the Jets' victory this past Sunday, 16-9 versus the Broncos. So the Jets started off the game on a sluggish start, but Breece Hall got them going when he rushed to the left end of the Broncos end zone for 62 yards. And that was the only big play of the game. But at the end, Breece Hall tore his ACL and is out for the year. So James Robinson is going to be replacing him in this weekend's game versus the Patriots. It looked a little shaky. The Jets looked a little shaky this weekend because they were having a hard time scoring some points. At halftime, it was a little too close to play out. I thought, Breece Hall had another great game even before his injury. And the Zach Wilson wasn't flawless either. His passing percentage was only 61%, which isn't great. And his wide receivers had a hard time he wasn't solid with his passing. His leading passing for is 37 yards, and that was only Michael Carter, and that was their only his only big passing play of the game was to Michael Carter for 37 yards, and everybody else only had at least one or two targets, receptions, and he just wasn't solid. And I thought the defense played pretty well, but they had a hard time stopping the Broncos because the Broncos almost set up a game-winning drive versus the Jets at the end. But the Jets had one sack, 0.5 by Bryce Huff and Carl Lawson. And Sauce Gardner nearly had another interception, and the Jets had a pretty lot of tackles. Almost everybody on the team had at least one tackle, except Jacob Martin and Carl Lawson. But I thought the defense played solid. I just thought that the defense played solid and not giving up a lot of points, but the offense had a hard time turning the defensive stops into points. And the kicking was flawless too. Berrios didn't have a lot of receiving on the punts or kickoffs. And it was good that Russell Wilson was out because Brett Rippon didn't have a flawless game either. He was 24 for 46 for 225 yards and one interception. But Jerry Jeudy had a flawless game. He had 96 yards, and that was mostly why Brett Rippon had a great game. And their defense wasn't really great, but they sacked Zach Wilson a whole lot though. So I got my dad back. I'm gonna ask him a question of the game. So, Dad, why do you think the Jets had a hard time why do you think Zach Wilson had a hard time passing?
Well, I think the Denver Broncos have a really good defense. I think people fail to realize that even though the Broncos are struggling for wins, they have a great defensive back. They put a lot of pressure on the ball, and Zach Wilson was scrambling for his life. There was a couple plays where he, showed some escapability in running around, but I thought he held on to the ball a little bit too long. They actually got lucky on that one play where he escaped and fell to the ground. He was trying to flip it out of bounds, and Gene Steratore came on the TV saying that he thought it was going to be a fumble, and ultimately they did not reverse the call, and they had it as an incomplete pass, which was huge because in a game like that, scoring was very, very limited. So if that went the other way, they would have been in the red zone already, and it would have been difficult for the defense to get back on there and stop them. One thing that I think Zach Wilson is doing a good job of, he might not be helping us win the game, but he's certainly not losing the game for us, where in the past, he had crazy turnovers and different things like that. So while he only went 16 for 26 for 121 yards, he again did not have any turnovers. So if this Jet team is able to win 4 games in a row like they have, in spite of Zach Wilson, if he's able to turn it around and start putting 200, 250 yards, up each game, this could be a scary team. Now, we had injuries, and we obviously lost Breece Hall for the year, torn ACL, which was bad, but we also lost our offensive kind of, Swiss Army knife. He played 3 different positions on the offensive line. He tore his bicep, so he's out for the season as well. And Corey Davis was hurt. He got hurt in the first quarter. While it's not a season-ending injury, he is out for this upcoming game against the Patriots this week. So Joe Douglas has gone out and made some additions. He has added some offensive linemen, and he did pick up, who was it, Robinson, like you said, from the Jaguars. And he was a pretty good running back for them in the first year. I think the Jaguars were willing to deal him because Etienne was starting to get more and more attempts. So I think that was a good pickup. I think it was conditional 5th or 6th round pick. So a good pickup. But ultimately, I'm excited to see what Michael Carter could do. Prior to, Breece Hall, playing and getting on his run, I thought Michael Carter was going to be the breakout running back this year. So I think Robinson definitely complements him, and who's our other running back? Ty Johnson, I think it is. So, listen, we still have Garrett Wilson. We still have our tight ends. Mims is going to play and started to play. He actually had a great block on Breece Hall's 62-yard run. Did have a penalty the following game, but ultimately we're getting Elijah Moore back, and we're hoping Elijah Moore's head is in the right, place, and he's going to be able to come in and produce. I hope LaFleur gets him involved in the offense, and we'll see what we can do. But the Jets are going to be home this weekend against the Patriots. Patriots had a terrible loss against Chicago, and the Jets have an opportunity to win. Is it 5 in a row?
Yeah.
This place is going to be rocking. MetLife Stadium is going to be rocking this Sunday. Going against Belichick and our nemesis, the Patriots, riding a 4-game winning streak. If we can't get up and we can't have the 12th man ready to go in MetLife Stadium this week, then I don't know, when we will ever do that. But I'm hoping that the home crowd will propel the Jets to victory, and then we're definitely not looking past the Patriots, but going against the Bills that following week could be for the AFC lead, AFC East. So I'm excited about that. Now, Tyler, how did you think Sauce played again?
Good.
He played really good. How many he had, I think, 8 tackles.
Let me see.
I think he had 8 tackles, a couple knockdowns. They were They were testing him, and they were throwing a couple deep balls, and he was
8
on
tackles.
him like 8 tackles. He was on him like white on rice. So he's everything that the Jets thought that he was going to be when they picked him 4th overall. He's just playing spectacular. He was again I believe he was the defensive player of the week, and the other guy who's number 4 for us.
Reed.
Yeah, DJ Reed. DJ Reed had another great game too. So they're kind of touting Sauce and Reed as like the Revis Cromartie group from back in the day when we went to the AFC Championship. So they're young. Our defensive backs are a good core and super excited what we have. And I think something needs to also. I think the coach needs to be commended as well. Not so much LaFleur right now, but Saleh has this team believing and playing hard, and that same old Jets mantra isn't allowed. That kind of thought process and mentality. He's trying to change the culture there, which was desperately and sorely needed after the last couple coaching stints that we have.
Yep, and the last time the Jets, what do you think the last time the Jets won at home versus the Patriots?
I think we've lost 10 straight games to the Patriots.
2017, they lost 24-17 at home. 2018, 27-13.
I literally don't think we've beaten the Patriots for 5 consecutive seasons. I think, and last year we got clobbered by them. I think it was 54-13. So, it was right around the same time of the season last year, and we just they came in and just walloped us. So we're hoping that, this is a new team, new year, and new season, and it's crazy to say, but super excited to be a Jet fan right now.
Yep. Thank you guys for listening to Talking with Tyler, and go Jets.
Go Jets.